peacekeeping mission in Haiti under the Kenya-led multinational security support mission. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, who accompanied the officers in their journey back home, hailed them for leaving Haiti a better place than they found it.
You secured critical infrastructure, including airport, seaport, and major transport corridors. You restored state presence in previously inaccessible areas and supported the reopening of schools, hospitals, and businesses.
You have walked where the air was foreign, where the horizon offered no familiar salutes, and where every dawn arrived with the crack of gunfire rather than the crow of a rooster. Today, the tarmac beneath your boots is Kenyan soil. Welcome home.
The CS is also saying that the successful mission has put Kenya on the global map in matters of peacekeeping and restoration.
We have understood that peace is not just a domestic responsibility. Kenya firmly stands behind multilateralism in the face of complex and interconnected crises. Instability anywhere affects stability everywhere.
However, despite the successful mission, 3 officers, namely Samuel Tomoi, Benedict Kafiru, and Kennedy Nzuve, lost their lives during the deployment. A moment of silence was observed in their honor.
This homecoming is a joyful occasion, but we carry it alongside grief. 3 of our officers paid the ultimate price.
The Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, his deputies Eliud Lagat and Gilbert Masengeli praised the officers for maintaining professionalism and discipline during the mission.
You are a testimony to the fact that the National Police Service is trained to the highest levels. It is trained to the international standards. It can be able to deliver the services of policing anywhere, anytime. You have made the mission to Haiti mission possible.
You are coming in here today is a manifestation that everything is possible. You've done it, and you will do it even in the near future in other assignments. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that the good job that you've done there will not go in vain.
You've returned home as a battle-tested professional, having operated in one of the most complex and dynamic, demanding security environment of the world.
The immense support from our country and frequent visits from our senior government officials was a constant reminder to us that our country cares for us and we are their priority.
After the exit of the Kenya-led multinational security support, MSS, the new gang suppression force takes over to maintain peace in the Caribbean nation. A Chinese investor is accusing individuals within his company alongside unnamed officials of orchestrating a fraudulent scheme to declare him dead, allegedly to seize control of a mining business operating in Kenya. Through his legal team, Han Ki says forged death certificates and falsified court documents were used to initiate succession proceedings and alter company records, effectively locking him out of the country and stripping him of control over the mining company. Now, speaking outside Milimani Law Courts, his legal team, led by Tonge Yoya, says it will file formal complaints with investigative agencies and proceed to court within 7 days if demands for re-entry, correction of company records, and compensation are not met.
We want it to go for the record that our client, Mr. Han Kin, is alive. And it is quite unfortunate that someone who is alive can be declared dead through fraudulent means. But right now, he has tried regaining access to the country and is being told that he cannot come back because the details that we have in the country shows that he is dead. We also want to call the DCI to conduct independent investigation to ensure that who are these criminal elements so that we can be able to bring them to book.
Now, Kenyans have been urged to take advantage of the creative industry openings in the country and beyond as a source of employment. Subsequently, Embu County will host an international film and creative arts festival from July 26 to August 2nd, 2026 that aims to amplify authentic African narratives and connect local creative to global audiences. According to a festival director Ashley Murungi, the event will be a gateway to the international arena for the local artist. The initiative is a part of a broader version under the Africa International Film and Creative Arts Festival, which seeks to build a continent-wide network of festivals that elevate African content and talent. Among key partners at the launch were the Kenya Tea Development Agency and the Kenya Film Commission. Organizers also unveiled a community-focused approach, including a free school outreach program set to run across Embu County. The program will feature film screenings and guided discussions addressing social issues such as drug abuse, early marriage, and career opportunities in the creative sector.
You've just requested, you've just jumped before end. Before you get them for the photo session, let's have this photo taken out.
I formed that body so as to encourage young people from Embu County to be innovative. Innovation can be in very many ways. In science, in arts, we have already sat down and agreed on the areas where we shall be cooperating, and I will support them fully.
Film has 5 stages. There's the pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. And festivals like this are bringing all these, industry makers so that now the creatives can be able to interact with them, network, and see how they can go about their films and their funding and stuff like that.
Now, from Embu back to Nairobi, tens of children from Mary Faith Children's Home in Dagoretti South have benefited from foodstuffs, clothes, sanitary towels, and other school items from a well-wisher as schools reopen for the second term. Speaking after giving the donation, the well-wisher, Reverend Catherine Mwangi, said the initiative is aimed at cushioning learners and enhancing school retention. Expressing the gratitude, the founder of the Children's Home, Mary Njeri, said the donation will benefit 98 children, with 45 expected to report back to school this week.
Mary Faith has got 100 children that will be going to school. It is only the well-wishers who can be able to assist them. And through our contributions, we will be able to give them giftings today that will total to almost 200,000.
Those girls who have gone through the abuse, majority of them, they have the heavy breathing, so sometimes they can use a lot of pads. And also we have those who are coming immediately. They come, they don't have panties, they don't have pads, so they have to use the pad and the panties. So for those who have donated for us panty and the pads, thank you very much. And we would also encourage, when you are giving up a pad, please give us a panty.
Kenya is pushing for the adoption of the African-owned mediation mechanism, arguing that it is essential because of it carries greater legitimacy, cultural understanding, and long-term accountability than externally imposed solutions. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says regional institutions better understand clan dynamics, border sensitivities, political histories, and even community grievances.
The Horn of Africa remains one of the continent's strategically sensitive regions, covering the Red Sea corridor, global shipping routes, and critical trade links. However, ongoing instability in Sudan, fragile state building in South Sudan, security threats in Somalia, and tensions involving Ethiopia and neighboring states have created overlapping crises that require coordinated regional responses. Regional leaders are calling for a major reset of peace mediation efforts, in the Horn of Africa, warning that old conflict resolution models are no longer sufficient for today's complex security environment.
It is not too late to rebuild trust among Sudanese people, nor is it too late to restore a unifying national identity that transcends polarization and the desire of dominance. Nations are not built solely through security and political arrangements, but also by emphasizing a shared destiny and restoring the value of the homeland and its common future.
They are further calling for stronger financing of African institutions, such as IGAD decrying heavy dependence on donors, threatens to weaken faster responses, stronger monitoring systems, and more credible peace enforcement tools.
We must confront a growing tensions that we are witnessing our region and beyond between principled mediation and transactional deal making. How do we end the violence quickly without undermining sustainable peace? This is the central dilemma of our time.
Musalia says for the region to unlock development, trade integration, and economic recovery, African-led institutions must be empowered.
The contributions of external actors in regional peace initiatives. These efforts should be mainstreamed into Africa-led mechanisms, safeguarding the integrity of Africa-led mediation requires ensuring that external engagements are aligned with and advances our collective objectives.
To prevent conflict, mediate disputes, and ensure agreements are implemented. Timothy Kipnosu for Lunchtime News.
I take you to Kiambu County, where drama unfolded at Gavieko in Githunguri, Kiambu County, after angry residents stormed an alcohol and drugs supplies den locally known as Wamunyoro, where they arrested 3 people in connection with cases of death, mugging, and other crimes. According to the residents, the den has become one of the most dangerous places to pass through, whether during the day or at night, due to criminals who have found a safe haven to operate in without fear of police or any authority. They also lamented that majority of the youth are wasting away in alcohol, drug abuse, and crime at an alarming rate. 3 suspects are in custody at Githunguri police station in connection with the associated crimes.
Kuna kijana wa area yetu alikuwa amekufa sababu ya kunywa hii pombe baya. So wakati tulikuwa tunamchimbia kaburi pale nyumbani, tukafikiria tukiwa kama wasee wa kijiji, tukaona hiyo kitu imetusumbua kwa muda mrefu sana. So tukajikusanya vikundi kadhaa, tukuje tuone kama tutakamata hao wenye wanafanya hii biashara ya kuuza chang'aa.
Hii pombe imeweza kuleta uhasama wa security. Unapata hii kijiji yetu haina security mzuri. Vijana wanajiingiza kwa mambo ambayo si mazuri, pia hawawezi kusukuma makazi zao.
Serikali ifuatilia hii mambo kwa sababu vijana wetu afana wasichana wetu kwa sababu ya hii pombe.
Na tumepata bangi gunia mzima. Hii hata si msokoto. Msokoto hapa imefika 1000, lakini iko chini ni gunia mzima. Tumepata chang'aa karibu mitungi 3 na tumepata wale vijana wanauza.
Two suspects, including a wife, have been arrested over the mysterious death of a 50-year-old man in Kamarinyang village, Mukura Central in Teso South constituency in Busia County. This after an incident initially believed to be suicide turned into a suspected murder case following an autopsy that revealed severe injuries.
Silence crept through Kamarinyang village in Teso South as residents grappled with questions surrounding the shocking death of a 50-year-old man whose body was found hanging from an avocado tree in his homestead. What first appeared to be a case of suicide quickly raised suspicion after family members viewed the body and noted inconsistencies, prompting calls for a thorough investigation.
Pia ni kwamba kabla ya kufunga kwake hapo alikuwa tayari ameoshwa, aliogeshwa, mwili wake ukasafishwa, na baada ya kusafishwa kwa mwili wake ndiposa akawekwa kwenye mti ili ionekane kana kwamba ni mtu ambaye alikuwa amejinyonga.
The deceased eldest son, Benson Karani, says the family received a distressing phone call on April 20th informing them that their father had taken his own life, but doubts emerged almost immediately.
Daktari alifanya postmortem. Vile mwenye alieleza, baada ya postmortem tukiangalia kwa macho, sio kujinyonga, aliuliwa. Kwa upande ya mabavu ilivunjwa 4 body side. Mguu, mkono na majeraha mingi sana kwa shingo.
Tembea kusurvey shamba vile imekaa, wakapata tayari kuna vitu zilikuwa zimewekwa hapa, ambapo blanketi 2, suka 1, ina pande 1 ambapo ya marehemu, shoka na nyundo.
A post-mortem later revealed disturbing findings, including 4 fractured ribs, a damaged leg, and bruises around the neck. Police have since arrested 2 suspects, including the deceased wife, who are currently in custody as investigations continue, while the family appeals for support as they prepare to lay their kin to rest.
Naomba serikali hivi tuache tuzike mzazi kwa amani, alafu serikali yenyewe ichukue mkondo wake itusaidie.
Noel Ongeso for Lunchtime News.
And the Judicial Service Commission is still interviewing judges to replace the late Judge Ibrahim, who died. And Ruth Wamboi is on standby at the Milimani Locals in Nairobi. Ruth Wamboi, if you can hear me, bring us to speed as how many judges are we still, counting to go?
Studio, we are coming to you live from Milimani Ceremonial Hall, whereby the interviews for the SCOC judges are happening since yesterday. Yesterday saw 3 candidates who take to the panel of the Judicial Service Commission. The first one was Anne Washeke Makori. The second one to take to the interview stage was Justice Kipchumba Katwa Kigen, and the one who closed the day yesterday was Justice Joseph Sergon. Today morning we have witnessed the first candidate take to the to convince the judges that he is the best suitable candidate for the position which was left vacant when the late Justice Mohamed Kathar Ibrahim died in December 2025. And now today morning we have witnessed a 4 hours interview where Justice Tuyot took to the panel to explain his suitability for the position that had been advertised by Justice Martha Koome in January this year. The candidate who took to the set to explain his suitability, Justice Tuyot, explained to according to my observation, his strongness was on the division of matrimonial property. The judge convinced the panel, the 11-judge panel, that he would, if on his decision, if he was to have a case on the division of matrimonial property, equal distribution on financial, he will actually take on who actually contributes more to the matrimonial home, depending on whether he invested financially or on their time. The judge told the panel that he will check on who contributed more, whether it is financially or non-financially. So if such a case will come to his bench to give his decision and give his final decision on the matter, he will actually consider not actually the financial part, but he will actually check on whether the other better half is a sitting home partner or the one who actually goes to work and brings on the money to to contribute to the family. He will actually check on who contributes more. So I don't know how he will actually measure that one, but he has tried to convince the bench that on such a matter, which has been a case that is on most of our courts in Kenya, whereby succession and matrimonial cases have been most on our courts in Kenya. So he has tried to convince the bench that if such a matter comes to his bench, he will actually check on who contributes more, whether financially or non-financially. In the afternoon, we are going to witness the last candidate, Justice Mohammed Ibrahim, taking to the stand to also convince the bench on his suitability for the one most senior position in this country on the judicial platform, to be who will take the position. So Justice Mohammed Warsame is coming up in the afternoon and will also assess his suitability on what will convince on the bench. Just back to you, studio.
Welcome back to Semana Spokes.
Semana Spokes is the platform where wananchi engage, query the government, and the government responds. It's your time to be informed. Don't miss Bonga na Gava every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Semana Spokes.
Special needs hubs serve as a link between potential and participation, ensuring that no one is left behind.
When you see a caregiver come and they really want to be here and they want to do the best for their child, and what they're offering, you just know you will die. But we've introduced a new program where now someone can come like a school, right? Because we want it to be, it's got 10 years of therapy. Let's make it 3 months of intense therapy and seeing results. So that now you can be doing that once a week, just like management, you know, of ensuring the child is still doing what they're supposed to do.
On this week's episode, we get to find out the inspiration behind these centers.
Umpata habari zozote?
Haiwezi kuwa labda Amandi
anajua uzuri na ubaya wangu.
Hebu kwanza enda ute budako. Kama unataka kuongea ndo useme kinyo unataka kusema. Yaani unazua juu nimeitisha haki yangu.
Pole sana. Unajaribu kuzalisha pesa sio zako na nikupatie kama 50,000.
Hiyo ni kama punch kwangu.
Hawa watu hawana shukrani. Hujaniambia bado unataka aje?
Koko nataka kumuona Andrew.
Baya likitokea mko hapa. Zuri likitokea hamuonekani.
Watu wapi pesa unataka kunilipia nao scholarship? Kuna mali kuna mwangaza.
Niko na good news mbaya. Kama amerudisha mpaka akili. Huo mpango wa Ofwambe na Chief wasahau. Nimeibia nani? Ama nimeua nani round hii? Ndio maana nimekutafuta tuzungumze hilo. Andrew this, Andrew that.
Now, we do apologize for that technical hitch. And earlier, who was speaking was Ruth Wamboi. She was reporting from Milimani Law Courts. And Judge Mohammed Warsame is set to be interviewed this afternoon. So it will make a total of 5 candidates who are looking to replace the late Mohammed Ibrahim to be the judge of the Supreme Court. And of course, we'll be following that story in our subsequent bulletin. Now, away from that, Kenyans have been challenged to rethink the way they grow, eat and dispose of food, risk accelerating land degradation, worsening climate instability and driving biodiversity collapse on an unprecedented scale. Now, according to statistics 40% of food growth in the country is lost or wasted along the supply chain. This loss amounts to roughly 9 million tons of food every year, valued at 72 billion shillings. Speaking in Nakuru during a sensitization forum dubbed Disco Soup Day, stakeholders revealed that the losses occur from the farm all the way to consumers, affecting staple crops such as maize, potatoes, fruits, including mangoes and avocados, and even fish.
In Kenya, we waste a lot of food as well. That is 40% of what is produced annually. And this is 9 million tons, which translates to 72 billion Kenya shillings yearly.
Mambo ambayo tumesoma leo, tumefunzwa kuweza kutumia mmea kutoka, for example, kama vile tumeonyeshwa demo ya pumpkin, unaitumia kutoka mwanzo hadi mwisho without wasting anything. Na hiyo itanisaidia sana pale kwa shamba, manake kuna vitu ambazo nilikuwa na tupa, but saizi nimejua kumbe zinaweza tumika.
Food waste usually happens along the value chain, especially in agriculture, from the farm to the market and even at the consumer level. And that's why we usually bring youth together so that we can sensitize people and also teach them the effects it has both to the environment and also socially.
Members of Parliament have been urged to utilize the Constituency Development Fund to sponsor young people for training on entrepreneurial skills as a way to tackle youth unemployment. Now, this call was made during the graduation of over 100 youth who have undergone a 3-month training in hospitality, which was conducted by Tinderet Integrated Technical College in collaboration with Kenya Utalii College. Take a look.
These young men and women who have been trained here for the last 3 months are going to be very useful to the hospitality and tourism industry, looking forward to achieving the target of 5.5 million visitors by 2027 in this country.
Technical know-how and technical skills is the in thing today. That is why the government has invested over 35 billion shillings in ensuring that students gain the requisite skills both in hospitality industry, both in industrial work.
Tuta explore tukipata nafasi kwenda sites za cruise ship international, tuna meet huko na tutajikimu tukimaisha.
Now, over 2,000 uncollected national identity cards in Juja may lock out many Kenyan youth from enlisting as voters to take part in the 2027 general election. Jubilee leaders in Kiambu are now urging the IBC to extend the voter registration period. County party officials are expressing concerns over what they claim to be delays in processing IDs, particularly affecting young people in the region.
Kuna vitambulisho zaidi ya 2,000 ambavyo watu hawajakuja kuchukua. Tunasema tunataka hii nchi ibadilike. Tunasema tunataka uongozi mwema. Tunaona kwamba vitambulisho mwanzo havitoki kwa wakati mwafaka, vinachukua muda mkubwa sana kutolewa. Wa pili, tunaona ya kwamba watu hawaji kuvichukua. Tunauliza serikali, huu wakati ambao umetupatia wa kuchukua hii kura hautoshi. Tunaomba serikali uongeze muda ndiposa watu waweze kuja kuchukua kura.
Now to Murang'a County, early childhood development education teachers in Murang'a County have staged a peaceful protest against what they called unfair employment terms. Vowing not to return to school, the teachers who marched from Murang'a town to Governor Irungu Kang'ata's office demanded that the county government absorb them on permanent and pensionable terms.
The angry teachers said they had worked for over a decade under contract despite numerous promises from the county government to regularize their employment. Their spokesperson James Mwangi said ECDE teachers take home a partly of 14,000 shillings after deductions not enough for their survival.
Into our pay slips, we are categorized in the job group G. Yes. Tonight, we are telling your government, pay these teachers according to the SRC salary scale. Yes. Of a job group G. Yes. Don't tell us there is no money.
They accused the county government of ignoring a court ruling that ordered all 1,200 ECDE teachers in Murang'a to be employed on permanent and pensionable terms.
Teachers are really suffering. Yes. Teachers cannot even educate their children because of the financial constraint. Yes. Our Excellency the Governor, we are asking you a very simple question. Yes. What is happening in Murang'a that is not happening in Kiambu? If Makueni County employed its teachers on PNP, why not Murang'a?
They noted that despite their essential role in the education system, ECDE teachers continue to be treated unfairly compared to other civil servants.
It pains a teacher when you go to class to teach and your kid is at home chased for school fees. So we need to pay school fees for our kids as we teach Murang'a child.
Now, farmers have been cautioned against using counterfeit seeds, which could lead to poor yields and food insecurity. An agrovet company, Bayer East Africa, has been sensitizing farmers on the importance of using certified farm inputs during the planting season. Speaking in Kisii, a customer agronomist Barnabas Museki urged farmers to verify the authenticity of seeds before purchase. He said fake seeds have been a major contributor to low productivity and financial losses among farmers. The company has also launched a promotion campaign targeting maize farmers with prizes aimed at encouraging use of genuine seeds. Farmers who attended the session welcomed the initiative, saying access to quality inputs is key to improving production and livelihoods.
Pale vijijini, then we unaletewa pale dukani, then unanunua ukidhani umenunua mbegu ya ambayo ni genuine, kumbe umenunua mbegu ambayo si genuine.
Mbegu yetu ya DK777 unaweza ukavuna zaidi ya magunia 40 kwa ekari moja unapotumia ile mbinu ya ukulima wa kisasa. Kwa hivyo mbegu zetu pia haziosi kwa shamba na pia zinafunga pale juu kana kwamba ndege wawezi wakafungua.
Nimekuwa nikipanda, inanifanyia vizuri. Kiangazi kikuja sioni matatizo. Masao yake pia mzuri. Pia mbegu masao yake iko na usito mzuri. So naona ni mzuri. Tukisoea hiyo mbegu tutavuna vizuri na pia tutapunguza njaa katika nchi yetu.
Now let's get to business. Artificial intelligence should be incorporated in Kenya's agri-food systems, including the receipt warehousing system, to tackle market access challenges. Kenya National Farmers Federation Chief Executive Officer Mwenda Muluthi, or rather Mailudha, says artificial intelligence offers accurate data helping in pricing of farm commodities and link farmers directly to the market.
Older farmers lose about 72 billion shillings to post-harvest losses annually as they grapple with the market access challenges. To address this, Kenya National Farmers Federation is proposing integration of artificial intelligence in all government agriculture interventions, including the warehousing receipt system and commodity stock exchange.
It empowers the farmer. It gives you the power to negotiate with credit institutions. It gives you the power to negotiate with the market, people who are off-taking or people who are aggregating your produce.
If adopted into the food system, farmers say artificial intelligence will give real-time critical market data and link farmers directly to consumers and help in price setting.
Extortion here comes that one, farmers sell their produce cheaply to brokers. 2, brokers control transport and market access. Number 3, urban consumers buy at high prices despite these being produced at low prices.
They were speaking ahead of the upcoming World Farmers Organization General Assembly to be held in Nairobi this June.
Hosting this assembly will further spotlight the country's leadership in agriculture, while also providing a platform to showcase Kenya's rich cultural heritage.
Now, institutions should prioritize the procurement of local technology solutions. Financial Inclusion Fund Advisory Board Chairperson Habil Olake says a local technology solution will ensure minimal disruption of farms' operations even during global disruptions like the COVID-19 pandemic, and offer local innovators a market for their products.
Firms in the digital and financial infrastructure space have been encouraged to procure technology solutions from local innovators to save technology import costs. This will position Kenya as a regional security technology hub and give local innovators a market. To boost regional innovation, Secure ID has launched a security card production facility in Kenya. The high-security, internationally certified facility located in Nairobi marks the first and only card embedding technology manufacturing plant in East Africa.
What you have established here is more than a manufacturing facility. It is a signal of confidence in Kenya, a contribution to our industrial capability, and a foundation for the next phase of digital growth.
Africa spends billions printing cards, passports, ID documents that it could make itself. Billions that leave the continent, taking jobs, skills, and self-respect with them. Secure ID got tired of that story.
The facility will produce personalized EMV-compliant banking cards, telecom SIM cards, and government identity solutions.
Now, once you are on board, I'm assured that deliveries to the telecom, to the financial institutions that are here, deliveries will happen on time because you are within Kenya.
The facility is expected to generate skilled employment, foster knowledge transfer in high-tech manufacturing, and enhance national resilience by enabling local support for banking, telecommunications, and identity systems without external disruptions.
Facility is a commitment to East Africa, a commitment to local capacity, and a commitment to building solutions in Africa, and for the world.
Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now, plans are underway to distribute 2 million hybrid cashew nut seedlings across 15 counties in efforts to boost cashew nut production from 30 tons to 1 million tons annually. Agriculture Principal Secretary Dr. Paul Bruno says Kenya is keen on public-private partnerships to enhance value addition to boost earnings for farmers. The government's cashew nut revitalization program is expected to create 350,000 jobs.
In the next 5 years, we expect this crop to have increase in production to over 1 million metric tons. And AFA will lead the distribution of 2 million seedlings of cashew seedlings, which is the cashew nut, what we call ngorosho, in this particular area, kwa lugha ya Kiswahili, so that as part of other crops which we are promoting, this crop will also benefit from the government subsidy program on fertilizers and farm input, at the same time other value addition which are within the national government.
The new early maturity ones takes about 1.5 years or 20 months to mature. We want to encourage the farmers to engage on early maturity because the productivity of the same is on the higher side compared to the old ones which are taking 5 to 6 years to mature, and productivity was very low.
Mwaka uliopita tulipata seedlings 26,000 ambazo kutoka kwa AFA ambazo tumeweza kugawia wakulima. Climate ya Makueni, sababu iko joto kama huku, ni suitable for cashew nut production.
In our matters oil production now, the United Arab Emirates is quitting the OPEC and OPEC Plus groups of major oil-producing nations next month after nearly 60 years of membership. The UAE said its decision would help it meet growing global energy demand in the long term after recent investments to boost its production capacity. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the borders.
The United Arab Emirates decision is seen as a blow to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, which oversees oil production and has a major influence on the global prices. The Gulf States Energy Minister said being a country with no obligation under the group would give it more flexibility. The UAE's departure represents a win for US President Donald Trump, who has previously attacked OPEC for ripping off the rest of the world. The move opens a door for closer ties between the UAE and US. However, crude oil prices remain elevated and have risen to $113 a barrel compared to around $73 a barrel before the war began. Meanwhile, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has agreed in principle to write off 30% of domestic airlines debts to aviation agencies to stabilize the country's aviation sector. The move follows high-level talks with airlines, which had warned they would halt operations due to soaring jet fuel prices. Rising aviation fuel costs are no longer just an airline problem. They are spilling into the broader economy, pushing up transport expenses for businesses and ultimately the price of goods for consumers. For business owners who rely on air travel to move across cities, the impact is immediate and unavoidable. Finally, the Bank of Japan has slashed Japan's economic growth forecast for fiscal year 2026 to 0.5%, half of the 1.0% projection it made in January. The Bank of Japan raised its core consumer price index inflation forecast, excluding fresh food, for fiscal year 2026 from 1.9 to 2.8%. The Bank of Japan also pronounced that it would keep its policy rate unchanged at around 0.75%. The decision came as the bank noted that escalating tensions in the Middle East have driven up international oil prices, and the impact on Japan's economy still requires further monitoring.
And away from oil production matters, coffee farmers in Kirinyaga County are raking in record cash as payout soared to an average 139 shillings per kilogram of cherry. Now, the Rikwa Farmers Cooperative topped the charts at 157.15 shillings per kilo, ahead of Rungeto and Ruama. Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru attributes the increased earnings to enhanced support for farmers and reforms in the management of coffee cooperatives.
County government imesaidia sana na imeweza kutupatia zile dawa mzuri kila climate. Kama wakati wa January tunaambiwa vile tutanyunyizia dawa.
Hii payout ya mwaka huu nikilinganisha na payout ya mwaka ule uliopita, tunaona society yetu ya Baragu ambayo za Jani society tulikuwa tumefuna kilo kama milioni 13 kwenda mbele, na malipo ya mwaka huu ilikuwa mzuri.
Hii planting season tumewapatia 120,000 railroad to grafted seedlings. Tumetoa milioni 36 ndio tufanye ile kitu inaitwa modernization of wet mills in 7 factories.
And now let's get sporty for a moment. Club Africain of Tunisia defeated JCA Kings of Cote d'Ivoire 79-74 last night at the Prince Moulay Abdellah Sports Complex in Rabat as the Basketball Africa League Sahara Conference continued in Morocco. Now, the Tunisian side fell short early in the game but recovered to claim their third consecutive victory in the Sahara Conference. Aminu Mohamed was the standout player for Club Africain with 21 points and 5 rebounds, while Jonathan Sise was in a class of his own with 30 points and 7 assists, but could not guide JCA Kings to victory. The Sahara Conference continues today with 2 matches. Egyptian side Al Ali will take on Marktown Flyers of Nigeria before ASC Villa D Dakar of Senegal hope to inflict a first defeat of the tournament to host a FUS Rabat.
It goes up and it's over the top and in. Of course it is Abada, and that's it. Down into the corner, there's a chance for Mashabinu, and well...
Now, youth who were hired as local contractors in the WRC Safari Rally in Naivasha have issued a 3-day notice to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the rally organizers to pay their dues, failure to which they would take to the streets to demand their pay. Now, most of the affected youth were hired as marshals, cleaners and garbage collectors along the rally routes. According to one of the youth leaders, Simon Wakaba, they were promised payments 3 days after the global event ended. 44 days down the line, local contractors have not been paid their counterparts, yet their counterparts from Nairobi were given their dues soon after the event. The youth claim they worked under harsh conditions with poor protective gear, forcing some of them to be admitted to hospitals for medication. A senior officer from the ministry who requested anonymity confirmed that they were aware of the impasse and that the accounts department was addressing the matter.
Sisi tukipeana list yetu tunaambiwa PS ambaye approve. Why? Mbona approve list ya vijana kutoka Naivasha? Na tulifanya kazi siku 6. So sisi tunawapea siku 3. Wasipotulipa hizo pesa zetu, hiyo step nyingine tutateka hawatapenda.
Tumekuwa tukiambiwa si ni ghost workers. Most of us hapa tulikuwa tunafanya service park. Na service park ilikuwa ni area ambayo ni protected, ilikuwa na security. Tungeingiaje huko kama sisi ni ghost workers?
Sema tu mtulipe pesa zetu because hata tumeshindwa kuafford kujilipia bills. Na hiyo pesa ilikuwa after 3 days mlituambia mtatulipa, after 3 days imekaa hadi saa hizi. What do you expect?
Now we take you to Milimani Law Courts, where the Judicial Service is looking to fill the vacancy left by the, or rather occasioned by the death of Justice Mohamed Ibrahim, and before or rather on the hot seat is Mohamed Ulsami. Take a listen.
So it must give jurisprudential direction to the country in all matters, and when the Supreme Court issues a decision, people must be raising their ear. And that's what Kenyans expect. You must carry the Wanjikus on board. Mm-hmm. And that is how the court will earn its legitimacy. And legitimacy doesn't mean delivering excellent judgments. The court must be sensible and must address the needs of the ordinary Kenyans and find out whether the court, for example, is dealing with the right issues in the right way.
Very well. I think we'll go to other areas of examination. I don't know whether you attended our conference on celebration of Supreme Court at 12. That is where we were inviting that kind of introspection.
Yes.
What the Supreme Court has done and the views of academia, other judges. I think that will come out in the course of the interview. Now I hand over to Justice Ishare to take it from there.
And that is Justice Mohamed Onsame before the Judicial Service Commission in an interview to fill the vacancy occasioned by the death of Justice Mohamed Ibrahim. And that's where we end our lunchtime news on KBC Channel 1. It's coming to from the broadcasting house here at the Kenya's capital, Nairobi. My name is Giverson Maina, and our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Have yourself a great week and a great day.
Hello and welcome to Nairobi. I invite you to be part of something that truly matters. The Connected Africa Summit 2026, to be held in Nairobi from the 27th to 30th April 2026.
It's more than an event. It is where ideas meet opportunity.
And unlock solutions that drive inclusive growth.
Let's get connected in Connected Africa Summit 2026. Meet you there.
Tunajidai na lugha sanifu ya Kiswahili.
Leo twashiriki, njooni mwenda sisi. Sanaa ya Kiswahili leo imetufikia sisi.
Ni heri nikose usingizi baadaye kwa kuhitimu kimasomo.
Adhabu kali inapowekwa pahali popote pale husimama kama funzo kwa wahalifu wengine.
Unda majina mawili kutokana na vitenzi vifuatavyo. Ridhi.
Tunapata mridhi.
Tambua kishazi katika sentensi hii. Mbuzi walioibwa jana wamepatikana salama. Tambua kishazi. Naona Maria uko tayari.
Walioibwa.
Makinika, cheki wanafunzi wanavyozikwenda, utaona wengine wafanya hivi, wengine sijui wafanya hivi, wengine ni hapa.
Go to steak.
Steak iko wapi?
This is what?
Una nyama?
Yeah.
Una nyama? Hiyo ni ngozi na mfupa. Peke yake hakuna
nyama kidogo tu.
Kuna ya jana, wacha nikuangalilie.
Mchuzi ndio wa jana, mchuzi ndio wa jana, si itakuwaje ya jana tatizo.
Lakini wapi mwanangu? Ikifika saa fulani, kijikuta
ngoma zote hizo nokasinzia.
Mama, mimi nikisema na mbona usema. Lakini mwanamke kwa siku zwa yule. Mimi nikitoka kwenda kazini, kumbe naye utoka.
Nikiwa sina, mimi wenda kwa shambra. Nikamwambia nikopeshe nazi niuze.
Wenda kwa nani?
Kwa shambra. Ana nikopesha nazi.
Ushamalizwa wewe.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.